Hey you guys, listen, come on in. We're in our countdown of 7 weeks of identifying destructive behavior.
Boom!
That can certainly blow up a marriage. And listen, as we raise your consciousness as well as reminding ourselves about these behaviors, we want you to share this information with others who would like to continue to grow and to increase their connection in the relationship.
And send us a message. Tell, hey, Marvin and Lila, I appreciate you on helping us out. Well, we're only really helping you out because we have been there. We know exactly what's going on.
Yes, as we list these 7 behaviors, they're not foreign to us. Some of them
No, they're not.
a lot more familiar
We're
than
going to put a little bit more work into
a lot more familiar to others. But listen, we're going to give you a pop quiz.
So put your books away, put your notes away. No phone, no written notes.
All right, do you hear the countdown?
Boom.
Week 1.
Boom.
Week 1, we spoke about what? See, y'all, he's trying to cheat.
Disrespect. I got to teach you those. Disrespect is so detrimental to a marriage.
It is, and we talk about disrespect as a form of dishonoring, devaluing your spouse, just simply being rude. It will destroy any relationship. So we don't want to be disrespectful to one another. We want to make sure that we are holding our spouse, we're holding your mate in the highest regard possible.
Because when you disrespect your spouse, you devalue that person. And everyone in a relationship needs to know that they bring something important to the relationship.
Absolutely. So listen, moving right along. Week 2, we spoke about what? Oh, that emotion, anger.
Anger.
One of the strongest emotion.
But not the strongest.
Right, the strongest is
love. Yes.
But certainly we all will experience anger at some point in time. So it's not about not getting angry, but it's about the manner in which you manage your anger.
And not just getting it, but not staying angry. Being able to put that anger aside. Not, what was it? Don't let the sun go down on your wrath.
Yes, but even more to be anger, but what?
Sin now. You get angry. Believe you me, if you're in a relationship, there's going to be some disagreement, there's going to be some friction, there's going to be some anger. But how do you manage that anger?
Yes. And week 3, you guys.
Dishonesty. I'm looking at my notes. Dishonesty in a marriage. Can I trust you? If you lied to me one time, how many times are you going to lie to me after?
Yeah, so trust is one of the strongest pillar in a marriage outside of commitment.
Yes.
Without trust, you don't have a marriage. You
gotta
have trust. You gotta know that your spouse is going to be there for you, and gotta know that, and they need to know that you're going to be there for them, regardless of what the situation would be.
And lastly, taking your spouse for granted.
Yes, we need fresh water, so we don't have time to be taking each other for granted. We need to make sure we created an atmosphere of appreciation, an atmosphere of fondness with one another, and we have to be active in that. You can't just assume that your spouse knows you appreciate them. You need to be busy informing them verbally. We got to know that your spouse has to know that you appreciate them, so that fresh water can continue to come into the relationship. And without fresh water, you will get stagnated. If you get stagnated, it can lead, it's the breeding ground for contention and resentment. So certainly we want to keep water coming in.
And this next one, which is week 5 that we are in, this is when I put a lot of work into, even early in our marriage and even sometime now. Admitting that you were wrong.
Ooh, apologizing. How many of you guys have an issue with apologizing?
Glasses off so I can see.
Apologizing. We all would come up short at various times because no one is perfect.
No one.
But how do you handle when you have failed your partner or you have been offensive? You're doing something that have caused hurt to them.
Well, the first thing, I've learned this here the hard way, is you have to own up to it. You have to admit, okay, it was my fault. Yeah, I take full responsibility.
And that's not always an easy thing, but it's the say,
It's
but
not.
it's necessary. So there's no avoiding it. Certainly people apologize in many different ways, but we want to make sure what's at the core of that apology is your admission of wrongdoing and you taking on the responsibility of whatever it is that you've done to cause harm.
And when you're admitting that, guess what? Don't over apologize. Don't be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm sorry. I really can't get it together. I can't get my act together. I've been going through this. So no, don't over apologize.
Yeah, that would make me put more weight in you. That would make me think you look at you more suspicious.
Exactly.
If you can't get your act together.
So do not over apologize.
Yeah, so just be genuine. You know, and I say just, but certainly the conviction has to be a part of that apology. You don't want to just be apologizing just to be apologizing. There has to be a conviction because it's only with a conviction can we expect change to take place.
Yes.
Now, if you're just apologizing because you got caught and there's heat in the room and you're trying to just quiet
get out the hot water, boiling water, or the frying pan, right?
And just trying to quiet your spouse and trying to avoid, the repercussions of it, then that's not being authentic.
And lastly, number 3, you are going to have to figure out what is the next step. Where do we move forward? How do we go from this point on?
Yes, because again, with apology, it certainly doesn't mean that your spouse will be able to just accept you back all at once. And what I mean by that is, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to pick things back up to the same frequency as you thought things were before the offense took place. It may mean that you have to give your spouse some time to process what has taken place so that grace can be given, so that mercy can be given. And in the meantime, don't be over there, saying things such as, well, I've apologized. What else do you want from me? Or it's time for us to move on. No. Give them space and time to process, right? Give them time to allow their heart and their mind to catch up to your sincere apology. So you can do some things to show I'm willing to do some good deeds to let you know how sincere I am about my apology.
Yes, and also throw some empathy in there. Say to yourself, well, I wonder how I made my spouse feel when I said that or when I did that. I wonder how they felt. I wonder how their heart felt when I did that.
Yes, so empathy can go a long way. Validate their hurt and pain. I can see why you feel the way that you feel. I get it. If it was me, I can understand. But also, again, sometimes it may mean that we have to
recompense. There you go. That's it. Yeah.
Recompense, where we, go wash your wife's car. Go do some things that are heavy lifters for her, and take those things off of her plate or his plate, not just her, but his plate, to let them know that, hey, I'm really, really sorry.
All right, so it's takeaway time. What is your major takeaway from this session?
One simple thing: be sincere with the apology. Sincerely, which will lead to repentance, i.e., change.
Yes, and my takeaway is, when you apologize, don't be so quick to move on. Let your spouse process it first.
Yes.
I'm Marvin.
I'm Lila. See you guys next time.
For week 6. Don't miss it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.